This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holidays are over, the decorations are down, and suddenly everything feels a little empty. It's normal to feel the winter blues after the holiday excitement. January, February, and March are by far my least favorite months of the year. It's cold and dark, and I have to get some extra vitamin D on board. I also need to keep my regular scheduled appointments with my therapist. So if you're feeling that post-holiday funk, I definitely suggest you checking out BetterHelp because maybe it's time to talk. You might also be one of those people like me who makes New Year's resolutions and you get super motivated. So maybe you need someone behind you to hold you accountable and come up with a plan to meet your goals. BetterHelp is super convenient, totally online. You have a therapist right at your fingertips whenever you need them. So head over to betterhelp.com/wifeofcrime1 to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/wifeofcrime1 for 10% off your first month.
Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. The app is simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks Daily Fantasy Sports app today and use code Spotify and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code Spotify on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
This podcast is an unscripted, unedited conversation about true crime. We take the cases very seriously, but I don't take myself seriously at all, and neither should you. Welcome to Wife of Crime.
So Russ, there's a saying, if I can't have you, no one can. And the killer I'm telling you about today, well, she took that saying to heart. She was so in love with a guy who didn't return the same feelings. And she decided it's better to get rid of him altogether than stand by and watch him love another woman. This is the case of Jodi Arias. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wife of Crime, a true crime podcast where I tell my husband, Russ, all my favorite true crime stories, and he reacts to them.
Yep.
We are back for another episode. So I actually was thinking the other day, I have a question that I've never asked you before with regards to the podcast.
And you ask a lot of questions.
Are there any types of cases that you're really interested in hearing? Because I just pick cases and I don't tell you what I'm going to do. I know that you probably enjoy the serial killer ones more than the other ones, but are there ones I've never done that you actually really want to hear about?
Well, after over a year of doing podcasts, I appreciate you finally consulting me on the podcast. It's well-deserved. I put a lot of hard work and effort in. I drank a lot of beers to earn this. And I'd like to thank all my people that listened. We made it. I like the cases that are kind of revengeful. I'm a huge revenge dude. Kind of like the not me, not today's, but where they might kick the dude's ass for and get away.
Okay, so like a survivor that then kicks somebody's ass or kills the perpetrator.
Yeah, so those are my favorite.
Okay, even more than serial killers?
Yeah, I like when the piece of shits get what's coming to them.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'll keep that in mind. So this week on our Patreon, we covered the Netflix documentary, Why Did You Kill Me? And that episode was a lot of fun. We laughed a lot. It was actually a lot of random side talk and then a little bit about the documentary. But a lot of people found that episode really funny because we talked about a lot of funny things. And we got a couple new patrons, so you're going to shout out our patrons.
Yeah, Jess was a little drunker that one. So that's probably why it went that way.
Drunker.
So this week's new Patreons are BX Wanda, obviously from the Bronx, Nita, Amanda, Heather, and Alexis. So, cheers to you guys. That was actually a Coke Zero, though, but I have a bottle of beer, but if you open the top, it doesn't make the noise, so I opened the Coke Zero for you.
True. It's like when you open the red wine and it was like, boop.
Yeah, the sound effect isn't that good. I actually have this article that I was looking at on Instagram, and I look at the Post all the time. They have like good catchy headlines.
Mm-hmm.
Pause it. So there was this teen. Well, I'll always read the headline. So a lot of times I just read the headline and I don't read the article, and then I form my own opinions. That's kind of how I do it. But this one I read, and the Post is good on Instagram because it's always like a paragraph or two for short attention span people like that are from New York. So,
like you.
Yeah, the headline says, teen busted in murder of Florida cheerleader made chilling Snapchat post. So it's crazy. So this 13-year-old cheerleader was found dead in a remote part of Florida in the woods.
Wow, that's sad.
The kid's name, they found him and charged him with second-degree murder of Tristan Bailey. His name was Aiden Fucci. Maybe it's Fauci, but it's not spelled like Fauci, the guy that tries to make me wear the masks.
Mm-hmm.
I wear my mask, by the way, anyway, but I don't get COVID because I don't want it, you know. Sorry and RIP to everyone else that suffered from COVID. But the kid's name was Anthony Fauci, whatever. He was 14 years old. He was charged with it. But the big twist in this case is he posted a Snapchat picture after he was arrested in the back of a cop car. And the caption was, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristan lately?" And he's putting up a peace sign. Spooky and creepy as fuck. Check it out. Just look up those names and stuff. You guys know how to search.
Wow, that is creepy.
Crazy.
How old was the boy? Does it say his age? Was he also a teenager?
He was 14, and they attended the same schools and grew up in the same neighborhoods, according to, it says local outlets. I guess that's like people that...
Wow,
whatever.
That's so sad.
Yeah, that's fucking...
Poor girl.
Nuts. And I think the dad should just shoot the guy. And that's...
Well, he's 14. You think the dad should shoot the 14-year-old kid?
Yeah, probably like he should like cut his arm off first and then shove it up his butt. That's like my new one. And then like pour alcohol in the wounds.
But he's 14.
Yeah. That's how I feel. And I was just trying to make Jess pause the podcast by saying ridiculous stuff. But I really feel that person should suffer. If that was my daughter, I'd fucking cut the kid into pieces. A 14-year-old, listen, when I was 14 years old, I have the same brain. Most of the time when you're 14, your brain is kind of there. Yeah. I think the only difference between a 14-year-old and an adult is you're more insecure at 14 and you're unsure of yourself.
Yeah.
But I was confident the whole time, so whatever.
God.
Not really. I had a lot of acne.
That's crazy, though. God, that's sad.
Yeah, I'm not going to post the pic, or maybe Jess could, or maybe I'll share the article on Wife of Crime Instagram, and you can click it and go look. But him posting the picture in the back of the cop car was pretty nuts. Yeah. And why didn't they cuff him? He wasn't cuffed. And why did he still have his phone?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Nuts.
Shout out to Florida cops for doing such a great job.
God. No, but that's really crazy. Ugh. Terrible story.
That was like my first story like you tell me.
Oh, true. It was. Very shortened version, but yeah, you told me one that I've never heard of.
Well, I probably could have read the article word for word, but it still would have been short.
Yeah, true. Well, today, I'm telling you a story that's pretty famous. Most people know this story that listen to true crime. People who don't listen to true crime, a lot of people know this story because the case was very sensationalized in the early 2000s.
So the couple dudes that listen with their wives probably don't know the story, but all the wives know this probably. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and people have heard this girl's name. Have you ever heard the name Jodi Arias?
Nope.
Never?
You know what it is? She's never been on ESPN. So if you haven't been on ESPN, I probably haven't heard of you.
That's very true. So have you ever heard the saying, if I can't have you, no one can?
Yeah.
Well, this woman I'm telling you about today, She made sure no one else could be with the man she loved, even if that meant getting rid of him altogether.
Women are crazy.
Now, many people, like I said, have heard of Jodi Arias for a lot of reasons. First of all, the trial was huge. It was like a spectacle. It was super sensationalized. Her and the victim had an on-again, off-again sexual relationship, and during the trial, many pictures and details and messages were read and shown of all of their sexual escapades. So it became like a big media sensation. And she changed her story multiple times. And the stories that she told with regards to the night of the murder and where she was, it all became in the media and like became a big deal. So this story makes me really mad. And you might hear me drop an F-bomb or two because it's a very irritating story. Are you ready?
Yup.
So on June 9th, 2008, a group of friends showed up to their friend Travis's house to check on him. He was supposed to be going on a vacation the next day with them, but none of them had heard from him in over a week. When his friends got to the house and walked into his bedroom and then bathroom, they saw a horrific sight.
What's going on?
A friend of ours is dead in his bedroom. We hadn't heard from him for a while. We think he's dead. His roommate just went in there and said there's lots of blood. I didn't go in, but I can give you the phone to someone who went in there.
Yes, please, can you?
Hello.
Hi, so what's going on?
He's dead. He's in his bedroom.
Okay.
In the shower.
Okay, how did this happen? Do you have any idea?
No, we have no idea. Everyone's been wondering about him for a few days.
She said that there was blood. So is it coming from his head? Did he cut his wrist?
It's all over the place.
Is there any weapons around?
No, I don't know. Not that I saw.
How many people are in the house?
How many are in the house right now? Just the 5 of us? 5 of us.
Okay, I need all of you outside.
Okay.
Hold on just a moment. Okay, you're a good friend of Travis's, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has he been depressed at all? Thinking about committing suicide, anything like that?
I don't think he's been thinking he committed suicide. He's been really depressed because he broke up with this girl, and he was all upset about that. But I don't think he would actually kill himself over that.
Has he been threatened by anyone recently?
Yes, he has. Okay. He has an ex-girlfriend that's been bothering him and following him and slashing tires and things like that.
And do you know the ex-girlfriend's name?
Do you remember? Yeah. What's his ex-girlfriend's name? Ask Taylor.
And do you know if he's ever reported it to the police?
Her name is Jodi. I don't know if he's ever reported. Hold on. Yeah. Ask Taylor if he's ever reported Jodi to the police. Like, if Travis did. No, he hasn't reported anything about Jodi's behavior.
Okay, and you guys left the roommate. When was the last time he saw Travis? Was it 3 days ago?
Zach. When was the last time you guys saw Zach? Travis. They want to know about the roommate.
Last time I saw him was, last Thursday or Friday?
The last time I remember seeing him was last Thursday. Okay. When was that Mimi saw him last Tuesday, or last Monday. She talked to him last Monday.
Okay. And everyone is out of the house. There's no one else in the house.
No one's in the house.
Okay. And what is your name?
My name's Michelle. I need to ask a friend something. I'm giving the phone to me.
Okay.
Taylor. Hi.
Hi.
She's a business partner.
Okay. And this is the tub is in his bedroom?
Yeah, and I guess I didn't go in, but from what I heard, his roommate went in. There's blood in his bedroom behind the door, and then he said it's all over. And then they went in the bathroom, and he's in his shower.
Okay.
So
and His bedroom is where in the house?
It's upstairs, and if you go up the stairs, it's on the left. It's the first door on your left. It's the only door on your left.
Okay.
And it's just a big master suite bedroom up there. And she's talking to his friend right now. There's a girl that's been stalking him and things, and he's trying to. You might know some information. I hope my phone doesn't die. I'm on like 1 bar of battery. So.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep you on the phone until officers arrive. Either officers or paramedics arrive. Okay.
Okay. I think I can hear the sirens now.
So, as you heard from that 911 call, it was a very bloody sight. Travis Alexander was stabbed 29 times. His throat was slit, and he had been shot in the face. Once police arrived on the scene and started their forensic investigation, they found some interesting pieces of evidence.
Do 911 operators always ask those questions? I always thought their job was to find out where something is going on and kind of like
direct police.
Dispatch the police there or the ambulance or whatever's needed. She was asking questions like she was a detective, like, has he thought about suicide or things like that? I've never heard that before.
I don't think I've really heard that before either, but I guess if he's already dead, like, she's probably taking the time to get as much information as she possibly can to get some answers right away, because like when you start investigating a murder, the first 48 hours are like the most imperative time. So maybe she was just trying to help, because it's not like, there was anyone. He wasn't dying. He had been dead for a while. So
fucking overachiever over there.
Well, I feel like
for Employee of the Month.
No, but that's good though. I feel like that's a good thing that she did. She asked all those questions and got it all recorded and like made it a little report. I feel like that's a good thing.
I thought the cops would ask those questions because these people are probably still going to be asked these questions anyway. And
instead of like asking them multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, to each their own, I guess.
Well, 911, if you want to streamline your format, hit me up. First consultation is for on the arm. The next one, we'll work out of 3.
People around other parts of the country, I don't know if they know what on the arm is.
It means like on the house. It's free.
Yeah,
on the arm.
But you don't even say on the arm. You say on the arm. On the arm. Your accent makes it funny. Okay. Anyway.
I don't feel like I have an accent. This is how you're supposed to talk.
All right. So, once police arrived on scene and started their forensic investigation, they found some interesting pieces of evidence. Inside the washing machine, police found a camera and an SD card.
Clean camera.
And the pictures retrieved from the camera pointed to the involvement of one person. Jodi Arias. So after his friends mentioned Jodi on the 911 call, and now these pictures that were retrieved were photos that had her in them, they decided it's time to talk to her.
This week's episode is sponsored by BarkBox. I got good news. So BarkBox is a monthly subscription for your dog where they send them treats and toys. And I hit them up and I said, yo, my listeners like free stuff, so what's up? And they said, oh, good news, Russ. We love your show. So we'll give you and your listeners 1 month free if you sign up for our subscription service. And I said, cool. I said, how do they take care of that? And they said, oh, so just go to barkbox.com/wifeofcrime, or they can click the link in the show notes. And this way we know they're your homies and we'll give them a free month. Oh yeah, they do themed ones, and you could do ones for big dogs, those super chewers, or you could even get them for those little poodles with the pink hair that you keep in your purse. So don't forget, go to barkbox.com/wifeofcrime to let them know I sent you and get your free month.
So Jodi was born and raised in Northern California. She had like a relatively normal upbringing. Her parents owned a Mexican restaurant where she waitressed all throughout high school. She was also very into photography and took part-time photography gigs for things like weddings and other events to make extra money. And then in 2006, she began working for a company called Prepaid Legal Services, which turns out is a multi-level marketing scheme.
Shout out to Amway.
And
Selling people stuff all the time. And they're always like, just mix it with water and it lasts forever. It's like fucking taking orange juice, taking sips and just filling up with water. It's still orange. Like,
you're such an Amway hater.
oh my God, I hate Amway. Like,
It's because you were raised with a mom who did the whole Amway thing.
I knew it was a scam from the start. I was like 11 years old. Like, wait, you want me to sell my friend's laundry detergent? Like, what? I'm not doing that. Like, I'm going to get 50 cents. Like, if I just asked my friend for 50 cents, they'd give it to me before they bought your laundry detergent that they have to mix up in their house. Like, they're a chemist.
I know. Now the big one is like essential oils. That's a big...
Nah, then they got Herbalife.
Yeah, Herbalife.
I see that. And it's all... If you ever have a friend that you haven't spoke to in a while and they contact you... They're going to contact you at first and they're going to have the normal pleasantries, but get ready for the multi-level marketing scheme.
Yeah, there's also like Isogenics. There's, what else? What's these new ones? Ronan and Fields.
Oh, your mom does the joint where she doesn't eat food. She
Isogenics.
Yeah,
she only did that for a short
drinks,
time.
All right, so first of all, this one, I don't know much about it, but this one, you just like drink shakes.
But not all day.
Instead of eat food. So let me give you a tip, folks. If you don't eat food, you're going to lose weight.
I know.
It's not the fucking
Leave her
shakes.
alone. Leave my mom alone.
It's not the shakes. You're just not eating food. They're tricking you. If you drink a Coke Zero, it got no sugar. I'm not doing advertisement, and no carbs. Drink this instead of eat breakfast. You're going to lose weight. Like, don't eat, you lose weight. That's it. Or you can find the right way to eat and stay fit and stay alive and run and be healthy.
All right.
But I did keto, so...
Yeah, so you did this... Keto is not a multi-level marketing scheme, but keto is a fad diet, so...
Yeah, but one of my friends didn't have to fucking sell me this thing I have to mix with water.
Yeah.
And drink it out of a special thermos.
Anyway, so in 2006, she began working for this multi-level marketing scheme thing called Prepaid Legal Services. And it's kind of ironic because she sold legal services to people, but then in the end, when she went on trial for murder, she had to get a public defender, which we'll talk about later, but I find pretty kind of ironic and funny.
Damn, son, she didn't buy her own watered-down lawyer service.
So anyway, she starts working with this MLM and decides to attend a conference in Las Vegas. And while there, she sees this guest motivational speaker named Travis Alexander. And she is hooked. 1 week after meeting, the two started having a sexual relationship. So Travis was a Mormon and Jodi wasn't. I'm sure they were very attracted and like passionate with each other. But
do Mormons wear top hats?
No, Russ. No. What are you talking about?
What religion wears
hats?
the top hat?
That's the Hasidic Jewish community.
No, the ones that ride around the horses.
Those are Amish people.
I thought Mormons and Amish were the same.
No, they're not.
Mormons have cars?
Yes. Yes, they do. There's a Mormon church in Manhattan on 71st Street.
That's true.
They're just a different religion. That's it.
That one's the funniest one, I think. Ain't that the one where the dude found the Bible with the Indians or some shit?
I think he found gold plates. I don't know the whole story. I'm not sure.
Jess doesn't want to mess with the wokeness of talking about religions. But
I don't think we should talk about religions.
All right, never mind.
So Travis...
I can't make fun of anything.
So Travis was a Mormon and Jodi wasn't. And I'm sure they were very attracted to each other and passionate about one another sexually. But Travis didn't want to date Jodi. Therefore, he wasn't looking to have a full-blown serious relationship with her. She wasn't wife material to him. So at this time, they were doing this like long distance thing because Jodi still lived in California and Travis lived in Arizona. They talked on the phone all the time and exchanged tons of emails. And when I say tons, I mean tons. 82,000 emails they exchanged, these two.
Emails to me are so... What's the word? Not unpersonal. What would be a good word?
Impersonal?
Impersonal. Like, you have each other's phone numbers and text, and when people send emails, I'm like, wait, You have my phone number.
Yeah, that's true. It is. I'm not a big emailer.
And
either.
because I might not check it.
Yeah, I don't check my emails often either. So Jodi decided she wanted to convert to Mormonism. I think she was, at this point, so in love and borderline obsessed with Travis that she wanted to do everything she could to be exactly what he wanted. She moved to Arizona to get closer to him and converted to Mormonism.
Knew that was coming. Now she's wearing long black dresses.
That's not what they do. But anyway.
They wear colors?
Yes. They dress like regular people. What are you talking about? It's just a religion.
Shout out for the Mormons with the swag.
So this whirlwind relationship...
You're getting so annoyed.
No, I'm not. So this whirlwind relationship only lasted 4 months. 4 months. And in that span of time, she converted to a new religion and moved across to a different state.
There's always one person in the relationship that adapts more for the other person's lifestyle.
Well, he didn't want her to adapt to his lifestyle. He wasn't interested in having a relationship with her. She saw him as the man of her dreams, but he saw her as his dirty little secret. Being a Mormon man, he was not supposed to have sex before marriage. So this relationship was on the down low. He didn't want anyone to know about this. This was just a side piece to him. He was having a secret sexual relationship that he wanted no one to know about. And this is why these types of friends with benefits or, just sex relationships don't work, because someone is always more into it than the other person. So after Jodi moved to Mesa, Arizona, her and Travis had a late night booty call. And after he fell asleep, she looked through his phone and found 40 messages that he had sent to other girls. She was heartbroken and decided to break things off with him. Travis, on the other hand, was relieved because he didn't really want to have anything to do with her. He was just having sex with her. And he said goodbye and decided to move on with his life. But shortly after, they continued to talk, email, and after about a month, they hooked up again. So they began hooking up on the regular. And of course, Jodi said, "Oh yeah, we're just friends with benefits. You go date whoever you want, blah, blah, blah." But she didn't mean it. She actually hated when he saw other women and wanted him all to herself. I'm sure she was trying to play the cool girl and hoping he would eventually come around and would want to be with her again, but it didn't happen.
The problem with this is she said that, but women don't necessarily mean what they say.
That's what I'm saying. She didn't mean it.
They play these damn games like See, I wish Jess was like this, because a lot of girls...
What?
You
like
say...
What?
What's wrong? They say nothing. I ask Jess what's wrong. Jesus Christ, we're talking for 16 hours. I'm falling asleep. I'm exaggerating, but it could be like 4 hours. And now I'm falling asleep in the bed. You know how when you drive in a car and you're really tired and your head's bobbing? It goes on so long that my head starts bobbing.
Whatever.
I'm done.
At least I'm not the I'm fine girl. I'm never going to be the I'm fine girl.
Try it.
I don't want to. If you want to ask me what's wrong with me, you're going to find out what's wrong.
No, I will never ask. I don't even have a chance to ask, because you're going to tell me something's wrong before something even went wrong.
Oh, no, I'm not that bad. Shut up. You love me. Don't even.
Love has nothing to do with that.
Well, she was playing this role of this cool, girl hookup. And I'm sure in her mind, she just thought to herself, well, if I keep him hooked by playing this role of the cool girl who just wants to have sex with him, eventually he'll come around and he'll want to be with me.
Wrong.
Exactly.
That was my Donald Trump impression.
So So it didn't happen, and Travis continued to keep her around, but as a casual hookup, and he continued to see other women. And this infuriated Jodi. She began acting super obsessive and irrational. She slashed his tires, followed him around town. She would hide behind bushes and take pictures. I'm serious. This isn't a joke. She would hide behind bushes and take pictures of him out on dates with girls. Then she would find the girls on social media, on their Facebook or MySpace, and she would send anonymous messages to these girls threatening them.
I wonder if she wore dark colors so she couldn't be spotted in the bushes.
I don't know, but the point is she was acting crazy. Now, at this point...
I'm trying to get a picture in my head. That's why sometimes I ask
picture of a girl hiding behind a bush taking pictures.
Yeah, because she might not be wearing the latest the latest floral patterns hiding that are bright. You know, she might be like, did she have eye black underneath like Rambo?
Now, at this point, I'd say this may be what some would consider a clue. Maybe you should cut off communication with a crazy girl who's stalking you and sending messages to women that you're seeing and acting psychotic. But as the old saying goes, Travis couldn't resist the power of the poon.
So Travis gets horny, and now he's going to wake up dead.
Well,
but he had a lot of other girls he could text.
Well, he didn't want to. He wanted to keep hanging out with Jodi because maybe they had a really good sex life. Maybe they were super attracted to one another. So the two continued to see each other and have sex. And they even traveled together after this. Clearly, Travis knew this girl was crazy, but maybe a small part of him liked the drama. Maybe their sexual connection was so strong and he just couldn't give it up. I guess for a dude who grew up in like a strict Mormon situation, told that he couldn't have sex until he got married. This type of situation where a girl is like fiending for him and obsessed with him, maybe he liked it a little bit, and that's why he couldn't let it go.
Most religions, I feel like they say you're not supposed to have sex before you're married, but that doesn't really work today.
And this is a prime example of a situation that went terribly wrong, not because of the religion or anything, but because he was having this secret sexual relationship with her instead of, you know, being out in the open with it. It complicated things a lot. So.
Well, he seemed like he was pretty honest with her with his words, but maybe not so much with his actions.
Yeah, exactly.
But she probably, I mean, she's crazy anyway. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Have you ever dated a crazy girl like that? Like where that, I mean, you don't have to talk about it, like go into detail, but have you ever dated someone who was super crazy?
I've never dated a sane girl. I've never met one. I've never married a sane girl.
You only married one girl.
Yeah, and I've never met a sane one. They're all crazy. And then as I know all guys are thinking, like, as we're in the house getting yelled at or being told what to do, we're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just trying to play some damn video games, and then I just turn my headset up and see her mouth moving, and I don't even. And then I tell her so she can stop. I'm like, my friends can hear you.
Well, it doesn't always make me stop, honestly.
No, but I don't. And not that I like it, but like you got to make sure the good outweighs the bad.
Mm-hmm. So maybe to him, the good outweighed the bad at the time. And
you know, if she just would have got pregnant, maybe she could have kept them.
Well,
there's a lot of people out there sneaking babies.
That didn't happen. So I'm sure he didn't really believe like the actual craziness that this girl was capable of, though.
If you get pregnant and you're not sure, like he probably, that's not my baby. You hit up the DNA shop to make sure it's your baby. We're going to start the GoFundMe. I didn't want people to forget. I had to bring it back up. You know, the DNA shop where we got the fingerprint scanner in the corner. You take your fingerprints. We'll even have a kit for you to take your own fingerprints at the house, but you got to do it on your own. There's a fee if we got to come. And we'll do it for you, but you know.
Oh, God.
Hashtag, I got a guy.
Last year, Save More Money was the most popular New Year's resolution in America. Clearly, a lot of us feel like our money is slipping through our fingers. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not the best saver, and I don't know much about investing until I started saving and investing with Acorns. Turns out you don't have to be an expert at all because Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that fits you and your money goals. And I always thought that when people say, ooh, I invest in stocks, that they had a ton of money or something. Well, you don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you invest with the spare money you've got right now. You can literally start with $5. And you know you guys are spending that at Starbucks on these fancy lattes. So skip the coffee and invest with Acorns. You don't even need a ton of time. Like you can just sign up and start investing within 5 minutes. Head over to acorns.com/wifeofcrime or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. That's acorns.com/wifeofcrime. You guys already know because we have been talking about them for a while now. Via Hemp is by far one of our favorite sponsors we've ever had, okay? We use their products all the time. Maybe you're a little like me. You're a little anxious. You have a hard time settling down. You're kind of wound up a lot. If that's you, Via Hemp products are for you. Check out their website. You will find something that speaks to you. Maybe you're like Russ. You have a hard time sleeping because you have bad nerve pain or chronic pain. Then Via Hemp is for you because their gummies will help you get some quality sleep. Maybe you're looking to have a really good time. Maybe you just really like edibles. You want to laugh. You want to get the munchies. You want to watch a movie and have a really strong belly laugh. Then Via Hemp products are for you, okay? They're literally for everybody. So head over to viahemp.com, promo code wifeofcrime1 to get 15% off your first order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Wife of Crime #1 for 15% off your first order. So eventually, Jodi got tired of being his side piece and decided to move back to California and live with her grandparents. Now, they're separated by distance, but the two kept in close contact throughout, the next couple months through emails and phone calls. They exchanged many sexually explicit emails, and Jodi sent him lots of nudes. But in the end of May 2008, Jodi hacked his Facebook and sent threatening messages to girls he had been seeing through his Facebook, so making it look like it's coming from him. And this was the straw that broke the camel's back for Travis. So he called her and said, you know what, I'm done. This is it. This is getting too crazy and out of hand. I think we need to cut off all communication and end this. This infuriated Jodi, obviously. So she rented a car and drove to Arizona from Redding, California, the evening of June 2nd, 2008. She got to Travis's house on June 3rd at like 3 a.m., and apparently that entire day, the two hung out and had lots of sex and took many pictures of it. Then on June 4th, Jodi drove the 5 hours back to Redding, California and dropped the car off.
That's when you said 5 hours. I actually just picked up my phone and I was wondering how long the drive was, but you said it before
Before you Googled it?
Yeah, because I couldn't figure out how Redding was, if it was like reading, like the word reading, or Redding, like R-E-D-D.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it was 5 hours that she drove back to California and dropped the car off. Over the next week, Travis wasn't seen at work. He missed a very important business meeting. He also wasn't answering anyone's phone calls or messages. So on June 9th, his friends showed up at his house to check on him. As I said in the beginning, he was stabbed 29 times through the heart and multiple times all over his abdomen and body.
I feel like if she stabbed him 29 times, she stabbed him until her arm couldn't do it no more. Like she was probably tired.
So according to the autopsy report, he was first stabbed through the heart, then stabbed a few times, then his throat was slit.
Damn.
Then she shot him in the face, and then she continually stabbed him again.
So she brought a gun and stabbed him anyway.
I don't know what.
Because I feel like shooting someone's. Well, I wonder how they can tell the order.
She wanted him to suffer. Yeah, I guess in the autopsy they can tell the order of how it happened. I don't know how. I don't know anything about autopsies, but I just know that that's what they can
If there's
do.
any autopsist out there,
I can't with you. You know it's not called an autopsyist. You're just trying to be funny.
I forgot the word, though.
A medical examiner or a coroner.
Yeah, see, I knew it wasn't autopsyist, but I forgot the word.
Anyway, it was a crime of passion, clearly, okay? And as I also mentioned in the beginning, there was a camera recovered. It was in the washing machine. The pictures had been deleted, and then she washed the camera to try to mess it up because it's electronic, you know what I mean? So she put it through the washer.
But leave it there.
But
how about you just take it with you and
who knows?
Crush it.
So she deleted all the photos, but as we know, by doing a true crime podcast, we know that nothing is ever really deleted.
It's not?
No.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you did. We've talked about this before. So they recovered many photos of Travis and Jodi having sex in many positions. But as they go through the pictures, and they're all time-stamped, these pictures. They're all time-stamped for the day, the June 3rd. And then as they go through these pictures, they come across a few that are no longer sexual in nature. But now it's clear that these pictures are of the last moments of this guy's life. There's a photo, a close-up of his face, where he honestly looks worried and scared. You can tell that he looks really freaked out.
Maybe she had the gun.
Maybe. And then there's a series of blurry photos, and one of them is him lying lifeless on the ground with blood everywhere, and her foot is right near his head.
Damn.
So I played the phone call earlier where you hear, his friends say Jodi's name. So the investigators decide, okay, we need to look into this so-called crazy ex-girlfriend. And at first, Jodi claimed she hadn't seen Travis in months. But then police told her, look, we have all these photos of you guys, and they're time-stamped for June 3rd. So you're lying. We know you saw him recently, and we need the true story. So then she changes up her story, and this is what she claims. She tells police that in the evening of June 3rd, after having sex all day, 2 people broke into the house dressed in all black and murdered Travis. And when they went to shoot her in the face, they had a gun to her head. When they went to shoot her, the gun didn't go off. And she was able to run out of the house, jump in her car, and drive all the way back to California. When the cops said, well, why didn't you call police? Jodi claimed she was afraid that the mysterious people would come after her.
Well, being a professional profiler, now that we have a Patreon and I get paid, so now I'm obviously a professional profiler. You can tell it wasn't a random break-in by the amount of times he was stabbed that it was a crime of passion.
Absolutely.
Hashtag Russ facts. I've learned this from TV shows.
So during the days of the investigation, Jodi sent a 4-page letter to Travis's grandmother giving her condolences.
That's a song.
What?
4-page letter? I think it was like Aaliyah.
I'm sending you a
and I enclosed it with a kiss.
Letter. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, she sent this letter to his grandmother giving her condolences for Travis's death because Travis was raised by his grandmother. Both of Travis's parents were drug addicts.
Yo, shout out to all the grandmas who raise their kids. You're the real MVP.
It's true.
Grandmas are the fucking best.
They really are the best. His parents were drug addicts, so his grandmother raised him.
I would love to just be a grandpa but not a dad, but you can't skip that step. I would just be the dopest grandpa. I would give the kid everything they're not supposed to have, and they would tell everyone stories about me until the day they die. I'd be gone 80 years, and they'd be telling people the legendary.
Yeah,
Russ.
being a grandparent does sound fun.
Oh my God, you all. I just want to be a grandpa so I could give the money handshake and say, "Don't tell your parents."
My grandmother did that.
Oh, my nanny would always give me the 20, especially
a 20.
Yeah, when
Jeez.
The first of the month, because she didn't have a job. She was on Social Security and all that. And
wow.
And she would give me the 20, and she would say, "Don't tell your parents." But on the first of the month when she got her money, but if they hit the number, her and Bernie, the dude she used to hit in the head with the frying pan, and the bent finger.
Her boyfriend.
Yeah, he had a burnt finger. He wasn't my grandfather, but he kind of was.
Well, he was dating her for years, so they were together a long time. It was pretty much your grandfather.
Yeah, he called her Big C because her name was Carol. And yeah, no, and then when they hit the number, because they played the numbers religiously every day, even when they were broke, they still throw a couple bucks on the numbers. But when they hit the numbers, sometimes I'd get a 50.
A 50?
Yeah, but
I never got that.
But it would be because
my Aunt Marion gave me the $5 handshake. I got fives.
Especially if they hit the number with my birthday, 625.
Oh, yeah.
So if anyone wants to send me something 625, a little 50, go ahead, hit your boy up.
Oh, man, that's funny. No, grandparents are the best. Shout out to all the grandparents out there.
Yeah, all the good ones.
So anyway, his grandmother raised him because his parents were addicts. So they were incredibly close. So Jodi sent this letter to his grandmother. She also sent the family and the grandmother flowers. And she posted on her MySpace page a whole memorial of Travis. You can go on there right now, look at MySpace, look up her MySpace page, and you see a whole memorial of all the pictures and all the things they ever did together, traveling and everything. It's super creepy that it's still there, to be honest with you. And she showed up to his funeral.
If that was Facebook or Twitter, they would deleted that shit because they're woke as fuck.
Well, I mean, it's true. They should delete it.
I don't know. You know what MySpace is? It's basically like an abandoned amusement park.
It is.
There's like relics there of like carnival rides and shit, but they're still there and it's creepy and there's like cobwebs on it.
True. So anyway, she even attended his funeral. 1 month later, on July 9th, 2008, Jodi was indicted for the murder of Travis Alexander and taken to Arizona to stand trial in September. By the time her trial began, she had totally transformed her look. She used to have bleach blonde hair. She wore tight clothes. She had bigger boobs because she had like fake boobs. She got a boob job and she would show them off. She was kind of a sexy girl. Now she had her natural brown hair color. She wore glasses, no makeup, and just tried to make herself look like the innocent girl next door.
She was probably advised by her lawyer to look like that.
Nope. I will get into that soon. I have a lot to talk about with that. So before the trial started, she told the judge that she wanted to represent herself.
Oh.
This is how much of a delusional narcissist she actually was. She thought that she could get up there, represent herself, make herself look like the innocent girl next door, and that the jury would just let her off because she's an innocent, sweet angel. So in the beginning of the trial, she actually presented letters that were apparently written to her from Travis, where, get this, Travis claimed he was a pedophile. But shortly after this, a forensic team for the state investigated these letters and found them to all be forged. So this asshole forged these letters to claim that this guy was a pedophile, to make him look bad. After his death, after murdering him, she wanted to ruin his reputation to win. What a sack of dog shit.
Yes.
Yes. No. There's no but. Yes, full stop. There's no but. Yes. What do you mean? She tried to make him look like a pedophile. No, I'm not letting you rebuttal.
It's in our instinct. No, you have no choice because I'll just talk over you. It's in your instinct to try to survive. It's like your human instinct. So going to jail feels like death. So she's going to do whatever she can to stay out of jail and be alive.
Or don't fucking murder someone. That's it.
That's true. Don't murder someone unless,
come on.
Unless they deserve it. Some people deserve it. But
anyway,
don't murder someone.
So now...
Or don't get caught.
Shut up, Russ. Stop.
I'm not encouraging murder.
No, she's a terrible piece of shit. Stop.
No, she probably is.
So
I don't know what happened between them that much.
We know. They were fucking around. She didn't like the fact that I'm not saying he's like this great guy. I don't know who he was. He wasn't perfect, clearly. He strung this girl along. They were having a sexual relationship. She wanted it to be more. He didn't. He kept fucking her. That's it. Sucks for her, but you don't go and murder someone because you didn't get your way. That's not how life works.
That's true.
And if you do, you deserve to pay for it. Done.
Yeah, no, I'm not siding with anyone. Sometimes I just like to think of stuff.
So now, realizing that she isn't going to just get off by acting like a sweet little angel and lying.
She pulled her tits out and came back, wiggled her hair, brought the blonde hair back, fucked these glasses.
She didn't.
Crossed her legs like Michelle Pfeiffer and said, "What's up?"
She didn't. But she did ask for a public defender.
Oh,
so
it's
the
over.
court... No, listen.
The dudes with the suits that are too big,
no, I want to talk
you
about...
always lose.
I want to talk about this. Listen. So the court-appointed attorney assigned to her was a guy named Kirk Nurmi. Now, I want to tell you, Russ, I listened to an interview with Kirk on a podcast called Dialogue, okay? And I learned so much. So I didn't know this, but public defenders, legally, you'll go to jail. Like, you're legally not allowed to deny a case or a client. You have to take their case. You have no choice in the matter as a public defender.
It's like a contract.
Yes, like you have no choice. Whatever case gets given to you, you have to take it. So at the time that Kirk was assigned this case, this was before it was sensationalized and everything, before he knew all the details. He just saw girl accused of murdering her ex-boyfriend. That's it. Then he gets on this case and he realizes what a disgusting human being piece of shit she is. He tried to petition the court 7 separate times to get him off of this case. He didn't want to have anything to do with defending her because she was treating him like garbage too.
Yo, shout
and
out
she was
to him.
a liar. And he tried to get off this case so many times, and they kept denying his motion to get off the case.
Shout out to that dude, because I always say, if you defend these people, you're a piece of shit. And poor public defenders, they need stylists.
Anyway, so
you've never had one. That's why you don't understand what I'm talking about. Everyone knows they wear Steve Harvey suits.
They don't all. Now
yes,
stop.
they do. And their hair's always messed up.
Maybe because they're working so hard. Because they have a lot of cases and people to defend. They don't have time to worry about their looks.
Get a little pomade and spruce it up and then get in there.
So he later wrote a book called Trapped with Miss Arias, where he chronicles the trial and how it totally changed his life. He ended up getting diagnosed with cancer. And after he finished chemo, he decided to never practice law again. It was a fascinating interview on this podcast Dialogue, and it gave you a whole new perspective. Because when you think about, okay, the lawyer that defends people like her or Casey Anthony or these really terrible people, you don't take into account all the details. So this was really cool to hear his perspective.
But he's different because he was a public defender and he wasn't getting paid a lot or doing it for the notoriety like all these other piece of shits are.
Yeah, that's true. He wasn't doing it for notoriety. He wanted to get out of it so bad. Yeah, so he got a lot of shit for being her defense attorney throughout the whole thing. He got death threats. His family got death threats. He got a lot of shit for it. And you hear him speak about the whole process, and you truly see how trapped he was and how evil she was to him. He would advise her of things. He would say, look, my legal advice, don't do this. She would completely go against him, and then she would talk shit about him in the media. Any bad idea or thing that turned out bad, she would blame him for. It was bad.
Oh, he wasn't as petty as me. I would have had a good time.
Yeah, he wasn't as petty as you. So during the trial, so much damning evidence came out to prove that she worked incredibly hard to plan this murder and to cover it up. She actually staged a robbery at her grandparents' house where a gun was stolen from her grandfather a few weeks before. The gun used to kill Travis, it was registered to her grandfather, and it matched that. She also rented a car instead of driving her own car to Arizona. And she bought a bunch of gas cans and kept them in the car so that she wouldn't have a paper trail of her stopping to buy gas or be on camera stopping to buy gas.
She tried.
She also took the license plate off the front of the car and flipped the back license plate upside down so it was harder to read if people saw her or if she was caught on camera. So it was clear that she planned this murder. This wasn't just a fluke.
What year was this?
This was 2008, the year I moved to New York City.
Oh.
After she left Travis's house, when she's driving back to California, she calls him and leaves him a voicemail. Very Scott Peterson-esque. She calls and leaves
Who's that?
Scott Peterson, the one that killed his wife, Lacey Peterson. We did a whole episode on it.
I forgot.
So she calls him, she leaves him a message, and in the message she's talking about how she's driving back from New Mexico or something. She got lost. Then she's trying to make plans with him for the future. But when you listen to this voicemail, she sounds like she rehearsed it. It's not normal talking. She's talking extra fast, and she just sounds like it's very rehearsed.
Kind of like all the other podcasts and not like ours where we're just talking, but they're reading.
Yeah, some of them that are scripted, yeah. And it sounds like her message is very scripted.
Oh.
Definitely doesn't sound like the type of voicemails I leave, which are awkward AF because I suck at leaving voicemails.
Holy shit. Jess still leaves them like a grandma. Hi, this is Jess. It's 8:47 p.m. The sun is out right now. It's 67 degrees. I'm calling to say hello. They get so fucking weird.
They get long because I'm so awkward. I'm like, hi, so today we were going to do this, but, I really don't feel like it.
Why leave a message when people see the missed call? They're just going to call you back anyway. You don't have to say, hey, it's just calling. We have caller ID now, Grandma.
I know. So anyway, her message sounded very scripted, very opposite of the type of messages I leave. So she was trying to just show, in this message, she says that she was lost and her phone died. So she was trying to explain away the reason her phone would have been off for a certain amount of time. That was the goal of this message. Then another thing that came out that was very interesting at trial was that after she left Travis, she was driving back to California, but she made a pit stop in Utah. When she gets to Utah, she's seeing a guy that she had been talking to. She stops at his house, and the guy testifies in court that she had already changed her hair color, that it wasn't changed because, originally she was claiming that her hair was brown now because it grew out in jail. But she had already changed her hair color to brown at that point.
I don't think I would testify against anyone unless I was subpoenaed.
Well, I'm sure he was subpoenaed. He's the stop she made after murdering someone. Of course he was subpoenaed.
Do they ask you to come into court before they subpoena you? Because hey, you going to come in? And they're like, sure. But he'd be like, nah, I'm just going to mind my business.
I don't know how it works. I don't know. So she stops at this dude's house, I guess to hook up with him or something, which is super disgusting. And then he tells them that she already had brown hair, but another thing is that she had cuts all over her hands. And he asked her about these cuts. He's like, why are your hands all cut up? What happened to you? And she claims that she dropped a glass at work because she's a waitress. She dropped a glass at work and that's how her hands got cut up, which is total bullshit.
You could have one or two little cuts.
Yeah, but not cut up. Also, side note, for everyone listening, waitresses and bartenders, when we drop glasses, we hate when people clap. And we hate when people say, hoopa, when you drop a glass. I hate that.
Oh my God.
When I was a bartender and I dropped glasses, I hated when people clapped. It drove me crazy,
all that would happen is say goodbye to your buybacks. Fuck that. Everyone would cheer, and I wouldn't even look up and acknowledge it.
I hate
oh my
it.
God, the glass fell that I don't have to pay for? I don't give a fuck.
I used to hate it. I don't know why. Anyway.
No, I didn't hate it at first. It could be fun. The thing is that these people don't see glasses break very often, unless they have children. But they don't see glasses break very often, so maybe it's a big deal to them, like fireworks. I don't know.
I don't know. I just know.
But I drop so many fucking glasses at work because they come free from the beer reps. Who gives a shit?
Well, I just know after 14 years of being a waitress and a bartender, I got tired of people clapping anytime I broke a glass. Because usually I broke the glass because I was in a stressful situation. I had a lot of glasses on my tray or whatever, and something broke. And it would always make me so mad.
That's why I would break them. I just didn't give a shit, so I was doing whatever.
So the trial was very sensationalized because there was so much explicit evidence. Listen to this. So both of the families were in the trial, okay? And the whole time they're having to listen to these dirty voicemails of them talking about all this sex. They're having to look at dirty messages being read, pictures being read of pictures being shown of them having sex, naked, very explicit. And both families are in the courtroom having to look at this.
What does that have to do with how she killed him, though?
Because...
they need motive.
Yes. So because she claimed that he was abusive and that he wanted her as a personal sex slave, but the state wanted to show, no, she was very complicit in all of this. She engaged in this relationship just as much as he engaged in this relationship. So they had equal feelings about this relationship. Whether it was only sexual in nature or not, she was a participant. She wasn't a victim of abuse.
Yeah.
So that's what they were trying to prove. So they had to show all of these pictures and messages and stuff. And after 18 days of this salacious trial, the jury found Jodi Arias.
Good SAT word.
The jury found Jodi Arias guilty of first-degree murder, and crowds were outside of the courthouse cheering.
That's weird.
A lot of times that happens for the big trials that are on TV.
That's like rubberneckers, like when you see an accident in the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking left. But then a lot of times I've been in traffic so long because of it, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to look too.
So at this point, the death penalty is still on the table. But at the first sentencing hearing, the jury was hung and there was a mistrial. I can't help but wonder, though, if the roles were reversed and this was a man on trial and the man did all of this, do you really think it would be a hung jury? I don't know. I feel like if it was a man that stalked a woman, that slashed her tires, that engaged in this type of relationship and then murdered her in such a passionate, crazy, gory way, I feel like a jury would convict a man to death. I think it's because she was a woman that they were probably hung. I mean, maybe. I don't know for sure, but that's my theory.
Maybe. I feel like it's harder for a woman to physically kill a dude, but not necessarily if he trusts you. Like, you could stab him because you can get close.
Yeah,
like,
so that's what happened. She stabbed him in the heart first.
How do people stab people in the heart so accurately? Isn't it like small? That's like hard to...
Heart is like the size of your fist.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know where it's at. You know what
it's about a little bit to the left of your sternum.
Yeah, because it's not like where you pledge allegiance in school.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's like right there.
So if you... I don't know. Whatever.
So what you just learned is that I know exactly where to aim if I was going to stab you in the heart.
Well, everyone knows. I already told them if I go missing, and now they'll know I go missing because now there's a podcast in the public, and some of these people follow me on Instagram, and they'll know. So
everyone knows.
I have,
and everyone knows we love each other. Stop.
And Jess put life insurance on me that I didn't know about. So
I put it on both of us. Okay.
Pray for me.
So at this point, the death penalty's on the table. It was a hung jury for the first sentencing trial. After this sentencing trial, she did an interview with ABC News. And this reporter was savage. I want you to hear this. It's really, really funny.
Our interview with Jodi Arias. Just hours after pleading for her life in front of the jury, she spoke with ABC's Ryan Owens, who joins us now from Phoenix. You've been covering this trial from the beginning, and now you had a chance to talk to her. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning to you, Robin. You're right. We sat down with her for almost an hour last night. She was worried about her hair. She was worried about her makeup, and especially about her wardrobe. She did not want anyone to see those stripes that they make them wear in jail here. But the one thing she seemed to not be very worried about is the very real possibility she could be sentenced to death as soon as later today.
To this day, I can hardly believe I was capable of such violence.
Even though Jodi Arias repeatedly said she'd rather die than spend her life in prison, when it really counted, the convicted killer changed her tune. She claims to spare her family.
I thought I'd rather die. But as I stand here now, I can't in good conscience ask you to sentence me to death because of them.
Just hours after her final plea for mercy, we found out the 32-year-old wasn't done talking. She sat down with me for a 40-minute jailhouse interview Tuesday night. I started with that statement to the jury and the words she didn't say to Travis Alexander's family. Why didn't you apologize to them?
I did apologize to them.
You never said, "I'm sorry."
I said that I'm sorry, that I'll never be able to make up for what I did, and that I can never replace their loss.
But you didn't use the word "I'm sorry."
Well, then I'm sorry I didn't say that, because certainly I am sorry. I think, in a sense, the words "I'm sorry" just seem meaningless, especially since nobody believes what I'm saying anyway.
You said it right there. No one believes a word out of your mouth. Why do you keep talking?
Well, because I know that I've lied before. That doesn't mean that I'm a liar by definition, by character.
What do you think of this jury? It's pretty clear they don't think too much of you. I wonder what you think of them.
I don't know. I feel a little betrayed by them. I don't dislike them. I just was really hoping that they would see things for what they are, and I don't feel that they did.
To a lot of people, they think this switch from "I want to die" to "now I want to live" is just another lie from Jodi Arias.
Well, I don't know what that means. Was I lying when I said I want to die, or was I lying when I say, please spare my life? You know, whatever happens, I'm just going to take it and deal with it.
You said today you want to give Travis's family closure. You know they want you dead. So why don't you give them that closure?
Well, what do you mean by that? Why don't I kill myself? Is that what you're asking?
No, why don't you accept the fate of the death penalty if you know that's what they want? If you truly care about their closure?
Well, I've caused them a lot of pain. I've caused my family a lot of pain. And I think that by asking for death, I'm only going to cause more pain to my family.
If you were on that jury and you had heard what they have heard, would you kill you?
I don't believe in capital punishment, so the answer would be no.
For now, Arias is sticking by that story the jury didn't buy, that she's an abused woman who killed in self-defense when Alexander lunged at her from his shower. So you really are never going to tell the truth about what went down in that bathroom?
I don't know what you mean by that, because I've told the truth.
Okay.
I didn't know that you were a hater when you came to interview me.
I'm not. And that was about as angry as Arias got. She stayed composed throughout, if not occasionally smug. A lot has been made about your appearance and your change in appearance. Was going from blonde bombshell to sort of a mousy church librarian look in court, was that a defense strategy? Was that your idea? What was that?
No, they don't sell Clairol hair dye in jail. So this is my natural hair color.
But there was more than just the hair color. The glasses, overall the demeanor is very different than the person that you were before this crime happened. What about that?
Well, this is a court of law. It's not a place to go and act crazy, or, I shouldn't use that term, but it's not a place to go and just let loose. It's a court of law.
So you might ask why she gave an interview now, especially to someone she called a hater. Well, the fact is she may not have had much choice. If she is sentenced to death, they will move her to death row almost immediately. There are no lights, no cameras, no TV interviews, which may be the ultimate punishment for Jodi Arias.
Oh, that guy was savage to me. I thought it was really good.
Who is this reporter?
I think they said it in the beginning. I think it's Brian Owens or something.
We got to look up Brian Owens and see if he has more interviews. Shout out to Brian Owens, the hater. Like,
when I first heard that, I was like, ooh.
We thought it was just the hater, but Brian Owens, good job. He said, so why do you keep talking?
I know. No, when I first heard that, I was like, wow, savage.
But then it's hard to say, why do you keep talking if you went there to interview her? So...
No, I know, but everything he was saying, it was what everyone is thinking.
Really. Shout out to Clairol hair dye for the good hair bleach.
So she gets up at the second sentencing hearing and begs the judge and jury not to give her the death penalty. She does this whole emotional monologue, and she says that she can still do so much good in jail. She can grow her hair out and donate it to Locks of Love. She can teach women in jail Spanish and sign language. She then pulls out a shirt that says Survivor, and she says she wants to sell these shirts, and then all the proceeds from the shirts she wants to give to women who are victims of domestic violence, which is just mind-blowingly crazy to me because she murdered a man and she was not abused, and now she's playing this whole card of an abused victim.
I don't think it's mind-blowing.
I do.
I think at this point, she's fighting for her life. Whether we know she's a piece of shit, but she's trying anything she can, and she doesn't have many resources in jail. So she's just trying. And who made the shirt? I don't know. Well, maybe made it with a marker or some shit.
No, it was like a legit shirt that said Survivor.
Oh, maybe someone sent it. Because I know, like, when I was younger, people would send me letters from jail, and they would have, like, people draw art and all this. And
well, I don't know. But she was finally given life without the possibility of parole for the murder of Travis Alexander. And, you know, like I said in the beginning or in the middle, not that I think this dude was like a great guy. I don't know if he was a good guy. All I know is he did string her along. He maintained this relationship that clearly he felt differently than she did. But at the end of the day, she brutally murdered him, lied about it multiple times, and then tried to ruin his reputation by claiming he was a pedophile. So she's the ultimate bad guy. She's a piece of shit, and she deserves to be in jail for the rest of her life.
Is she dead?
No, she's in jail.
Oh, she didn't get the death penalty?
No, I just said she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
I was looking out the window. All right. Well, she
got what she deserved in the end. But
yeah, she's alive.
So that's the case of Jodi Arias.
All right, good stuff. So what was I going to say? So we have a Patreon.
Everyone knows that.
What if this is their first time around?
They probably heard it in the beginning when we talked about our Patreon.
Yes, but if you're looking for more Wife of Crime, go to Patreon. We do true crime and chill episodes where we talk about murder documentaries and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's not as scripted. Just has little bullet points, and sometimes I take notes. And last time I was eating spaghetti, so I didn't really take a lot of notes. And we have merch. Go check out Wife of Crime Pod on Instagram. We got a Twitter, which is called
@WifeCrime. I'm not really good at keeping up with Twitter. We probably have our most social media engagement on Instagram and then Facebook, but Twitter kind of falls off sometimes. Because you know what? Twitter has it caps off at 140 text characters, so it's hard to
And Jess can't shut up.
It's hard to keep up with Twitter. But anyway.
You know what? I also think there's an age cutoff. I would bet the demographic on Twitter is probably 20s and teens, and Instagram may go a little higher, in the 30s, like us.
Yeah.
That's the end of my 30s, but
end of your 30s, bro.
Whatever. Your boy ran 6 miles today. Stay fit, stay alive.
All right, everyone. Well, have a good week, and we will catch you on the next episode. See you later.
Peace.